Each week we listen to an album, here's a remind. Just know it's gonna take about 3 hours of your time to hear us complain or praise each other's taste. But no matter what, at the end of the day, we're just best friends who love different music. We are earbuds, earbuds, earbuds. This is Earbuds.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Earbuds. If you're watching this on YouTube, first of all, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe and comment down below. Tell us everything you're thinking about. We want to know, we really do.
Good or bad, good or bad.
And if you don't want to watch it on YouTube, but you think that's your only option, no. Find us on all podcast platforms and follow us there. You can download the audio-only episodes and listen to them on your way to freaking work, baby.
Oh my God!
This is Earbuds.
Tell me lies, tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies from the tablecloth. This is This is
my
Earbuds.
God.
This is Earbuds. I'm Landon.
I'm Joey.
And we together are Earbuds. And this is the show where every week I bring an album or Joey brings an album from an artist that we like, maybe we grew up with, maybe we both know, maybe neither of us know. It could really be anything at this point.
Yes.
But one of us brings an album that we like, and the other one
Has to listen to it.
Yeah.
Has to.
And then we talk about it. Is it so hard to understand? I like some stuff. He likes other stuff. In the middle, we have a inverted butt cheek that of things in common that we like. And this week we have. Go ahead and tell them.
This should be the sign for our live shows, by the way. When we come out, people are like, "Woo!" It's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
Which is cool. It's like Dane Cook's Sufi.
Yeah, only a few.
You can only do it if you've snapped your finger in half or whatever.
Only the few and proud can do it. You can only do it if you.
I got in trouble before wearing a Sufi shirt to school one time.
I'm sure.
Nathaniel, excuse me, I'll call him out. Nathaniel said Joey's wearing a shirt with a middle finger on it because it's the super finger.
Yeah, it's actually.
And I was like, because it's actually worse than the middle finger. This was when he had 2 albums that were good.
Yeah.
And we kind of thought he was funny.
Yeah, you were kind of in.
Came with a free shirt. I wore it to school, and then I was told to turn it inside out.
Yes.
Then I just stopped going to school.
That's why we're here.
So, yes, this week. So last week you brought us
Geese.
That's right.
It
It was only last week, but it feels so long ago.
Indeed.
Geese 3D. Have you listened to 4D?
4D Country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Haven't listened to it yet.
Okay.
But my Apple Music is saying your new album's out. I'm like, no, they think I like Geese. I will.
No, it's good. I mean, I like the album stuff better, but
So for some reason that led me to my pick this week, which is System of a Down. And I went with the album Mezmerize from 2005.
Whoa.
Do I get my iPad out for this? Nah. So why did I pick this? I think because Geese is kind of weird. And I think this band's kind of weird.
I can feel why you picked it.
I think that's about it.
Well, I think vocally they're doing stuff with their voice, like
because he's
affecting it in different ways to make it sound different.
Geese, he's like, "This I was born, the boys of the like they're both sort of in the world of music that we call on our Venn diagram Bobcat Goldthwait music.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
a
picked
small little section, but so far it's 2 out of 15 or 16.
Yeah.
So
It might grow.
It might grow.
I might use the iPad.
Yeah,
so
get the
see.
iPad
This episode's brought to you by Apple.
And not the type that you
Watch a movie.
watch a movie.
People are like, they kind of started the show normal. Now they're stupid.
freaks again.
So I picked this album, the band System of a Down. For me, here's my backstory with this band. This might be one of the
best bands ever.
Yeah. So I think I've thought about this, and I think it might be part of why I listen to what I listen to this day.
That's what you said last week.
Let me
explain.
Yeah. Let me open that. Okay. Let me open that wide open. In 5th grade, I was friends with a boy. 5th grade. So this is how old are you in 5th grade?
Me?
Yeah.
Are you gonna look it up? How old was I in 5th grade?
Well, I know you were like 28.
What the hell?
You shall not pass.
In 5th grade, what, you're like 10?
Sure. So I'm 10.
10 or 11, probably.
I'm
Yeah.
in 5th grade, and this is 2000 and probably 3.
Yeah, that's
Sounds about right. And my friend at the time, who has some older brothers, he comes up to me with a burned CD. You remember when you used to make burned CDs
Oh
for
my
people?
God!
Isn't
Yes, just go.
So he came up to me with a burned CD and he said, "You have to listen to this. My brother got this CD. You've got to listen to this." Do you know who this boy was that gave this to me?
No, I didn't go to elementary school with you.
Well, you ended up sharing a dorm room with him
Yes,
freshman year.
I didn't imagine he would be liking this, but
So a little man with the initials AH.
yes, shouts out to Mr. Alex. We love you, buddy.
So
We know you're out there listening.
A friend we share, but he is the reason I started listening to this band. He brought me the album Toxicity, which had just come out, which was, I believe they had 2 albums before that. This was kind of their biggest. It has Chop Suey on it.
Yeah.
I think at this point, if you know nothing of the band, you probably know that song. You might not even know they sing it.
Yeah, it's one of those where you know the song.
Yeah, you know the song, not my history, right?
Mhm.
So it had that on it. At the time, I didn't know that song. I was just hearing it all new.
Right.
I don't think I'd ever listened to music like this before. There are songs on it about like prison reform and
Right.
weird stuff that I didn't really understand what they were talking about.
Sure.
I don't think at the time I knew what metal was. I believe they're kind of classified new metal, and I think this is the only band in that genre that I really like. But to me, it was just like, oh, well, I don't know what this is. I like it, though.
Yeah.
It's just weird. So I was like 10 years old listening to that, and it was an album I definitely didn't want my parents to know I was listening to because they were still checking for those,
Parental
advisory things.
sticker on
And
the
I really
front
had to.
of your burned CD.
But not on that one. I just got a burned CD from a dirty CD that was burned for me. So they had System of a Down. I guess they only had one before that, just their self-titled. Toxicity was 2001. I got it a year or so later. They had an album before Mezmerize, after Toxicity, called Steal This Album.
Yes.
Which was around the time of like Napster and LimeWire and stuff, where it got leaked. So they put it out. And it was sort of in the vein of Toxicity, but I was so young that I wasn't still like searching stuff out from the band. Like, I got to go buy this.
Right.
I did buy the album eventually, but I don't even know if I knew it came out after this one. I think at the time I got Toxicity, this was already out.
Well, and this,
2002.
because around this time too, I would go to, we'd still have a Sam Goody,
Yep.
FYE, Best Buy had CDs, Target had CDs, all this stuff. And you would just go look at your favorite artists and be like surprised that a new album was there. You're like, whoa, cool. And then just buy it because you're like, I had no idea this existed.
I think that's what I did with that one. And it was
Yeah.
just the CD.
Yeah.
You've seen it. There's no whatever
It
booklet or
looks like
anything
a
in there.
burned CD.
Yeah. So I was like, this is a theme for me with
You're
this
like,
band.
this is an album to only have burned CDs?
So
Did AH put this here? Or is this really for me to buy?
I looked over AH is there. He winks at me and then he disappeared. I haven't seen
We
him
haven't
since.
seen him since. Me neither.
So his brothers also had weird Al albums, and I think that's how I got into. I think I like Alex's brothers.
This is what happened to him that his
don't
brothers
know.
are so cool. And I'm kidding. We love you. And
Hey,
I know
Alex,
you're listening. buddy.
shouts out.
Shouts out to AH. We love you.
So
buddy.
just a
We
little
know you're listening.
background to get to this album. I could have picked Toxicity, but I felt like that was an album that was given unto me, and at some point maybe we'll cover it. But the sound of the band that I like, that I'm into, isn't so much that their older sound, but with their new albums. And I say their newest albums, they came out. It was a double album, came out in 2005. They have yet to release anything else since then. It's almost been 20 years.
So sad.
That I've been waiting. But when this one came out, speaking of Sam Goody, I remember because it was big that they were coming out with their new album, and it's a double album.
Yeah.
And so you had to go to Sam Goody and pre-order it, and they would give you the first one, and then like 6 or 8 months later, Hypnotize would come out. And I tried to find my CD, and I wish I could find it because we usually have something to show. But the CD that you got when you opened, it was kind of the digipack, which is like made of paper, and they call it that for some reason. Came with a little extra slip on it when you opened it, so when you got hypnotized, you could combine forces, and it made a big thick pack, and you're like, I completed the set. I've done it. But I was listening to, I think because of this band, I was trying to find more stuff in that genre at that time. So I was already kind of going in that direction.
Sure.
From 10 years old. And this was an album that, to me, I sought out. I had my parents drive me to the store when I'm 12 years old. And they're like, what is this? I say, it's System of a Down. And they let me get it. It was not edited.
Wow.
I snuck it in the house. And as you'll hear from this album,
Nasty little words
nasty men.
and such.
So that's the setup sort of the band and my a very brief. But they still play show. I don't understand. We'll talk about it. But
Yeah, we'll get into it, huh?
playing a show next year in Las Vegas. Probably won't be able to go, but
In the Sphere?
no.
Wouldn't that be funny if it was U2 and then System of a Down? Strange.
Like we sold 50 tickets.
No, I saw some live videos. There's thousands screaming fans.
They
Armenian.
yeah. They basically only do festivals now.
Yeah.
They can't decide on. Serge doesn't basically want to be in a band.
Yeah.
Their drummer is crazy. There's a lot going on, but
We can get into that
we
later.
love them. We'll get into it. What's you heard of them?
Yeah, of course. Chop Suey, B.Y.O.B. These are the songs I've known.
Mm-hmm.
And I, one of my friends, probably in middle school, probably around the time this album came out when B.Y.O.B. was big. And I like that song. That was my first, Chop Suey was my first exposure, but then B.Y.O.B. and I was like, hey, I like this song. But also it was kind of one of those where people were like, I couldn't quite tell if people liked it, like my friends liked it, or they were making fun of it.
Yeah. I think they're one of those bands in general where there's people that, because of Chop Suey, I feel like they're kind of meme-ified.
Well, yeah, because they do, like, they sound funny and like they look kind of funny and their music is kind of funny and their lyrics are kind of funny. And you're like, it's kind of and even back then as a kid, I was like, I didn't have the words to quantify it, but it was like, do we collectively as a friend group like it ironically or unironically?
Because this friend that you're talking about too, I think, he would listen to it, I think. But I was like, I like this band. But it is one of those, I think, when you start to, as we've talked about, not talk about the music you're listening to.
Right.
And it's like, well, I don't have friends that I guess like the same stuff, or I just like this. This is a band I've always liked and been interested in. And I'm like, some of their stuff I don't know if I like, but it's just all interesting and it's kind of fun to listen to.
Yeah.
And so I think at this point I can say, like, yeah, I like the band.
Yeah.
And I think there's also been a resurgence of, I mean, people still want, for 20 years they've been wanting a new album, and
yeah, of course.
they were a big band. Like Rick Rubin produced all of these albums, and but like you're saying,
know nothing,
because I couldn't figure out a way to. I didn't really know about, like, well, this is metal, or this is heavy metal, or this is death metal. So when you start to get into that stuff, I'm just like, well, I've always liked this sound. I guess I didn't think about this being like, oh, that's, I don't know, heavy or something.
Yeah.
I just like the way it sounded. And then, like you're saying, their lyrics are kind of funny. I couldn't really figure. I was like, oh, I like satiric. I like that it's politically satirical. Like these are funny songs. It's just rock music that's kind of silly, but they are also trying to make a point.
Yeah.
Politically or otherwise.
Yeah. I think aesthetically it just scared me enough not to ever pursue it anymore. Because it just reminded me of Ace Ventura when he goes to the guy who's listening to, I can't remember, at the
Cannibal Corpse.
Yes. I was like, at that time in my life, I was like, I don't want anything like that. That's just not me. I'm happy it's out there for people, but it's just not me. But not to spoil anything, but
you love Cannibal Corpse.
So that's my experience. I never sought out any of the albums, but I liked the singles. I was a fan of the sound.
That's
Also, I think one of the things I always thought was like, these are probably the most palatable, and they're already kind of crazy. And like, I don't know if that's something I really
some of their stuff.
am interested in.
Even on the other album, the second part of this one, there are songs that to this day, I truly the lyrics are nonsense. And so it was one of those where I'm just like, they're weird and they're doing it. And like I said, even in their genre, the genre they get pegged in a lot, it's like, it's probably like them and like Korn and Slipknot. I feel like there's this look to these bands.
Yes.
And there's some bands like that where I'm like, I like this one, and I feel like they're an exception to the rule of the sound I like.
Yeah.
Where it's like, don't really like Korn, don't really like Slipknot, even though you're supposed to because you're from here or whatever. It's like if people are like, oh, you like this and you're from Iowa, it's like you probably like Slipknot. It's like, no, not really. So they kind of fit, like they're a niche thing where I'm like, they're doing it the best, at least whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
They might be the only one doing that, but they play a lot of, like the festival I'm talking about, it's a lot of those bands that I'm just like, I'm not interested in those, but I would like to see them.
Yeah.
But then you do have to find the stuff that's like, who are the people like them that you like, or maybe there aren't any.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe that's also what I was not into, who they were being grouped with, and I just took that as, instead of what I then would later go on to tell everyone else about music I like, not tell anyone actually, but what I thought is that you have to just listen to an album. You can't know everything by what other people say about something.
Yeah.
So turn this off.
Yeah. Don't listen to us review this.
But no, I think, like you said, they're getting grouped in with these other groups that I knew for sure I didn't like.
Yeah.
But that's why I was kind of like, well, I like the singles that are out, but if they're like this, that's what I mean. Like, well, the radio singles, probably that's the most palatable these are going to be. So probably I won't like the album because they're grouped with these other heavier bands that I know I don't like. And if, it's just not worth it for me to go down that avenue. Also, back then you had to buy the album. And as a little kid, you're like,
to like,
well, that's
try it out.
$10 that I could be spending on a new.
And this one you had to drop double duty because they're coming out with two. So they're like, well, you have to pre-order both of them. So it's like $25.
Yeah.
There goes my summer, whatever.
I could spend that on an action figure.
Cleaning gutters for the Pope, who I live next to.
What? So
yeah, and anything else leading into this? Nope. Yeah, I don't know. Like the type of metal and rock that's played on the radio, it's a lot of like industrial metal sort of stuff that I just have never liked. And I think if you were to just think like, oh, you like this, they're on the radio, I kind of understand what that sound is. I would understand that. But it's like there's a sound there I just don't. I can never get into. And I think that those are the stations that are playing like B.Y.O.B and Chop Suey and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but this is the heavier stuff I like isn't really like this except for them. And I thought it was just an interesting, fun one. This is a short album.
Yes.
36 minutes.
Very nice.
Because it's part 1 of 2. The first song is an intro and called Soldier Side. The last song on Hypnotize is the full song. So you kind of get the little intro here and then you finish the journey at the end. We won't be getting to that on this episode.
That's interesting.
Maybe later. Shall we get into it? Unless you have something else you wanted to.
No.
So, of course, you like your eggs sunny side up. I kind of like mine soldier side up. Intro.
I think I just cracked I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
Crack the egg. Soldier side up.
To the soldier side.
So this is an intro.
Where there's no one here but me.
And you can tell it is.
Yeah.
but I like it.
What I liked about them when I first heard them too is their voices together.
Yeah, they sound good.
Surge has a great voice, and it's like a voice you don't think of using with, I don't know, like metal.
Yeah.
Like you're like,
Well, that's the thing. It's theatrical.
Yeah.
It's like I think the connection with Geese is like his voice. Well, actually, both of theirs, because sometimes what's the other guy?
Darren. He's like,
Sometimes he's singing, and honestly, it reminds me of Jellyfish and Roger Joseph Manning Jr. When he sings, he kind of has that voice where it's like it's a little different than Andy, and you're like, but it's good too. And then when they sing harmonies together, you're like,
well, that's what all this stuff is.
This
harmonies.
Is the best shit I ever heard.
Yeah,
and that's what this. So it brought together a lot of things for me that I said.
Maybe
I
they're
love
not
System
so bad.
of a Down.
Well, then should we hop into the?
No, this is cool. Oh, I think when you just said Soldier Side, it snapped in my brain, like infanticide, matricide. Is that what they mean? I mean, I'm sure there's
I think so. In the second song, well, they say it in this one, "Welcome to the Soldier Side."
Yeah.
It's a good song on the next album, but
I'm going to check it out.
It could be because they are very critical of war. I mean, their whole thing is they're all Armenian Americans.
Yes.
They are very for, I mean, they put out 2 songs just a couple years ago, sort of to help support some Armenian charities and stuff. And I said, well, you can do that. You can't put a whole album together. But that's sort of their big thing.
Yeah.
Is lots of like just human rights stuff.
Yeah.
Which
we can all get behind.
We can all get behind. So I think there's some criticalness of. I
mean, I get like it. Yeah. Welcome to the Soldier Side.
Right. Well, that song is about sons must go, and so you're sort of following the sons, and the moms are kind of watching them go to war.
Sure.
Where they're being forced to go. And you're saying welcome to the Soldier Side. But I think you got something there.
It just struck me when you said it, when I heard it said out loud. I was like,
instead of just reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it does kind of feel,
you know what?
They love wordplay and shit like that. So you would, it kind of, because there's no one here but me. It's like,
I think you cracked it.
Yes.
Serge is gonna be like, that's not what I. Dan's like,
yeah, see.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Well, next one.
I think so.
There's not much to say about the intro. It's just getting you into the story.
Yeah. Well, and I just cracked it, so.
Yeah. And you know what song I love? It's that song Airplanes by, it's Haley Williams, but she's on the track of that rapper B.Y.O.B.
Yeah.
And Landon's like, oh, this is taking me back to 2005. I just love when. Time to break the lyrics out.
Everybody's going to the party, have a real good time. Dancing in the desert, blowing up the sunshine. Kneeling roses disappearing into Moses' dry mouth, breaking into part, not stealing our intentions. Anger sitting
Hope someone watching this on YouTube kind of goes a little into the video just to watch it.
It is funny when I watch it back without, because the recorder does it in 3 separate tracks, so you can't hear the music when you're just watching the video. It's just us silently going.
We should publish that. It's kind of like the Garfield without Garfield comic
Yeah,
strips.
that's awesome.
So there's this, and then of course a little bit further down we cut to. That's the other thing I like about this band. They're always on the move.
Yeah.
They got them pegged. Ow! Ow! Back to that. So, I think that's a good single.
Great.
It's also weird enough. Like I had Lies from the Tablecloth. Just weird. This the phrases they use. Fascinating. The way he's singing, it's just like he got a good voice. He's using it. It's like super kind of heavy music sometimes, and he's just doing his thing over it. Just soaring over it, and it's like, why? What are you doing in this business, my man?
Yeah. Well, and it's when he does the, he's kind of he's laughing at it all, isn't he? Because you depend on our protection. Yeah.
He does his little weird inflections.
Of course, the la 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 la. And he's kind of, well, making fun of it. It being the sort of the show of the theater of war, yes?
I think this is a good lead off to the album, just talking about, obviously they're not the first people to say this, but
Yes.
sending typically poor people or people that need a way out in society, like, well, if you become a soldier for us,
Yeah.
you go maybe die for us, then maybe when you get home, we'll give you something. Typically they don't. People keep falling for it. But they where is it? Breaking into Fort Knox. Hangers sitting dripped in oil, crying freedom, handed to obsolescence. Still you feed us lies from the tablecloth. The people that get to eat at the big kids' table, the rich people, the presidents, just sending them off lying.
Yep. Give you the table scraps.
Yep.
Give you because you're a dog. You're a little dog.
La 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 la.
Blast off, it's party time, and we don't live in a fascist nation.
And it just switches right there.
It really does. Where the bleep are you?
Yeah.
Where the bleep are you? Why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they always send the poor? And it really is as simple as that, isn't it?
There's also... Bet you thought your CD skipped. No, that's just them playing a little audio joke on you.
Yep.
It's the urgency of it. They go back to the little...
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
Well, and I think that is they do it consistently, where they do throw in these other
styles of music.
Yes,
yeah.
And that's what transcends because if you don't have the chorus that everyone's going to the party, have a real good time, that little almost like a dance beat with like it's slowed down to halftime, but it's the if you don't have that, it's nothing. The song doesn't work. But that's what makes it work.
It's the idea of going, like with Geese and some other bands, the dynamics of what you're working with. You invoked Cannibal Corpse earlier. I think one of the things about that band, and I'm not here to just shit on bands all day, but something with the style of music that they do, it's the constantness of it, of the same sound, where you're just like, well, there's no, if it's just constantly like the whole time, it's just this brutal onslaught, violent lyrics the whole way through, the same sound. It's like, I couldn't tell you this song from Adam.
Yeah.
Where everything kind of sounds the same because you're not taking the time to go away from it, to reflect on it, to go back into it.
Yeah.
To I don't know. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing to listen to.
Yeah. I think that's why a lot of that stuff, a lot of that music doesn't, because I've been to many festivals. I've seen a lot of.
Oh.
Well, I'm just saying, I've listened to a lot of stuff. Okay, and this genre, Not even this genre, because I still don't know what to call this.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it is.
I think it's rock. I don't know. It's
I
like
think it's, yeah.
heavy metal, but in the sense of like Dio. You know,
Yeah,
it's like-
yeah. But
You're like, that's metal?
it's.
I float on a bug.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But because like you're saying, so much of it to me is just mush. It's just sonic mush, where it's just like guitars and drums and bass and a guy yelling or screaming or maybe singing, but all of it amounts to nothing. I can't. There's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing to grasp. There's nothing like a little acoustic guitar chorus. I don't think there's any acoustic guitar in this song, but I think we do get that in a song later, where you get the breakaway where it's like, hold on, we're gonna settle down for a second, and then blast off yet again. It's just good. It's good.
I'm already thinking about what else I can bring in here.
Wow.
But not yet, because before that I must get my Revenga. What do you think about this drummer?
I like the drummer, but I hate this drum sound
Yeah.
right here. It's not beefy enough for this.
Kind of sounds like
Trigger.
that's Rick Rubin for you. Seems too fast. That's what you're in the studio like, that's nasty.
God, where do you guys even come up with this? What are you doing?
And he's like, my sweet Clementine. He's like, God.
Yeah.
This is Revenga.
Revenga.
So I like this song. This is, again, you have to understand they're telling a story, something that people online don't understand. So he's talking about an abortion and that it's her fault. It's like, you're all stupid. I read so much that I'm just like, then you finally get to the actual, like, him. So it's about, I believe it's kind of clear. Woman gets rid of their baby, but it wasn't the dad's choice or the father's choice.
Right.
So he's mad about it. So he's like, it should have been you. How could you do this? So he's planning, like, well, you should be dead or whatever.
Right.
That's scary. That's a scary song.
It is a scary song. It's perfect for the Halloween season that we're upon. Oh, wait, we won't be.
It's probably going to be like Christmas when this episode comes out.
Next year. Yes. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of one of those. It's.
Should I go back in? Jesus Christ. The drum's loud enough for you now?
Go!
Then they drop it down a little at the end here.
Drop it down low, drop it down low.
I saw her laugh, then she said,
And Serge has said, he's like, I think there was something he posted, some article about.
Listen to that drum.
Yeah.
Look at that kick. It's not enough for me. Just the kick. The rest of it sounds good. I don't know. Maybe it's just my headphones.
I don't know. And this producer, he's been accused of, make everything too loud in the mix. Not here.
I want to feel the kick drum. You know, at a live show when your heart feels like it's gonna burst out of your chest.
Yeah.
I need a little more like that.
Yeah. Back to it. So they've been pretty clear. He's like, of course we're pro-choice. It's a basic human right. It's like you're telling these stories to mock them, to talk about a guy that's like, well, that sees this unborn baby as worth more than the woman he's with or whatever.
Right.
So they have a lot of songs like this that I think are very satirical in what they're talking about. And then you've got Gen Z coming in with their TikToks and they're telling me I'm canceled now.
Do they even know about this band?
No. Okay. It's below their minds. It's probably going to be on one of those, like, we had a 15-year-old listen to System of a Down. They're like, that's actually interesting. I actually think this is very interesting. My dad likes this band. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, that'll make your head spin. No, well, and it's like, you know, I grew up
Yeah.
in a house that played Alice Cooper a lot.
People understood what songs are.
Well, I mean, at the time, I think most people were like, that sick freak, and he's singing about dead babies and stuff like that. But you know, it's just funny.
It's the shock value. He's putting on a performance.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Meatloaf. You think he actually wrote a bat out of hell? He did.
He did. Like 6 or 7 times, I think. How many of those albums did he make?
I think 6.
Crazy.
I feel like I was told that he just disappeared sometime when I was a kid. They're like, he just disappeared. No one knows where he went. I think that was
Meatloaf?
lied to.
Meatloaf?
We knew where he was.
Yeah, he was in Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny. Yeah, basically.
My Sweet Revenge.
My Sweet Revenge. I think this is just because we have to talk about it. I can't say everything's great, but it is. I like the song a lot. But there are songs I like better. This is on the lower tier for me on the album.
I kind of like every song on this album. I think the next album has one of maybe the worst songs I've ever written.
Whoa.
But in terms of this one, and some of the best, it's a up and down. That's why I wanted this one. I'm like, I think it's pretty good all the way through.
Yeah. I like this song. It's just,
even if you're not even paying attention to the lyrics,
yeah, you're just like,
it's all their songs just rock.
That's the thing. It's just fun. I was listening to it. I was just having fun. Mm-hmm. And then you listen to the lyrics, you're like, gee, oh my,
hallelujah, wink. Oh Lord, my sweet Clementine. I mean, what more do you want from me?
The next song.
I smoke a cigar.
Jesus.
My cock is much bigger than yours. My cock can walk right through the door with the feeling so pure. It's got you screaming like a fool in the night. With the cool regulator smoking cigaros, cigaros, cool in the night. With the cool regulator smoking cigaros, cigaros. My shit stinks much better than yours. My shit stinks right down to the floor with the feeling so pure. It's got you coming back for cool in the night. With the cool regulator smoking cigaros, cigaros, cigaros.
That's good. Check this out. I love that.
Yeah.
Tell you what, when this is in my Walkman, my headphones are on.
Yeah. So, what'd we get at Sam Goody?
Us?
That's your parents when you make them drive across town.
When they're looking for a
Let's put
CD
it
to
in.
put in the. I've had that happen, and I go, skip it quick.
My cock is but yours. Can you see I love my cock?
I don't know how he does that. I don't know how they sing so.
They're singing so fast.
Found 2 insane people.
Yeah.
Can't you see that? My God. This song's about the nasty corporate overlords.
I don't even care. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a dick. What do they call it?
Measuring contest.
That's it.
They're swinging around, and just to hit it home, okay.
Mm-hmm.
My cock is much bigger than yours. My cock can walk right through that door with a feeling so pure. It's got you screaming back for more.
They have the little kids say it.
Yeah.
It's like that's what you are. You're a little playground bully. That's what kids on playgrounds do.
Yeah.
They say that stuff like, my peep bigger than yours, and my dad is a lawyer, and he's gonna sue you because you stole my life story. It's like, what?
I also like when the song first starts and he says, "My cock is my." It's almost like, but it's on because he sings better.
Yeah.
At other places, he's doing it bad on purpose on almost like because he's making fun of you for even being so childish as to say.
Cock is much bigger than yours.
Like his voice cracks
Yeah.
like he's a teenager. Like my cock's bigger
That's what I
than
mean. They're
yours.
just having fun. That, and then at the end, they have the kids do it with him.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Great song. I love this song.
Let's see. Cruel Regulator, smoking Cigaro, cigar. Burning through the worlds. Oh, yeah, this part's cool. Here we go. It's the way he says it. That's the theatrics. That's why we have music.
That's
To
it.
hit the point home.
I'm gonna turn it down up here, and you turn it up on yours.
I'm going to turn it up here,
Okay.
and then we'll see when the next song starts how much it blows
All right.
how much it blows.
What?
You've never seen SNL without telling me you've never seen SNL. So,
No,
what
I-
do you want me to say about that song?
Pete Davidson's fun.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
He said did the Ken song. So good. Should I move on? You think?
I don't know. I'm struggling because I like all this.
There's
stuff.
so much going on too. I can't sit here and talk about every song.
Just in the world. There's
Yeah.
So much, we have bigger things to worry about.
Just the way he says it mockingly about them.
Yeah.
They're making important statements, I think.
Yeah.
In a way
I
that's
guess
just
let's.
like-
So we're the regulators that deregulate. We're the animators that deanimate. We're the propagators of all genocide, burning through the world's resources. Then we turn and hide.
We're cool in denial. Just I think it's that's you said it best when you read the lyrics.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the message here. But then it is.
It's funny because there are songs that I feel like they're just so nonsense, and then they throw these in that are what they really care about. I think this is where the dichotomy of the two voices writing the songs comes in. I feel like these are the Surge songs, and then you've got some just like rock songs that are our little Darren man.
Is he the one who's always trying to throw in stuff about cocks and shit?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Smoking the F words in the
Well,
Hollywood.
we're about to get to Darren's song next.
I mean, I think he wrote all these, right?
I think they write them together, but
They write them together, but
the reason that I've heard that they cannot figure out a way to work on the next album is like Darren's like, I have songs. If Surge wanted to record tomorrow, I'd do them, but he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And you listen to the stuff they do separately, and you can tell kind of who's maybe writing certain themes.
sure.
But speaking of that, I listened to an interview with their drummer a while ago, and he's like, what Darren does with his band Scars on Broadway is good, but it will never be what System of a Down is.
What they
He's like,
do
because he's not
together.
singing with Surge, and he doesn't have me as his drummer. I was like, oy, boy. He's like, and he doesn't have Ding Dong as the bass player.
Right.
And he's like, same with Surge. He doesn't have Darren doing what he does best.
Yeah.
He's like, it's what we all do collectively
Yeah.
that makes the band what people keep wanting to hear from.
And it is that thing. We've gone through that on this show from the very beginning with Fall Out Boy. You see the Patrick Stump and Pete Wentz collaboration. It's needed.
Or if we go one episode back from that,
Yes.
which we have recorded,
Yes.
definitely, Mark and
Mark,
Tom. You've got Angels and Airwaves.
And Travis.
Yeah. Well, he sings something now. I think he used a robot to do it.
Yeah.
But then you've got Plus 44. We go, great. You like those things. But you know what we like? I want to hear you together because no matter what you're singing together, it makes me want to cry for some reason.
Yeah, it's good. It's the best version when it's together.
You've just hit on the perfect mix of everything.
And even, I'll say again, Jellyfish.
Mm-hmm.
Roger has a lot of great music by himself, and then he has his Licorice Quartet. Licorice Trio? No, Licorice Quartet. Now I can't even think of it. It's the Licorice Quartet. Anyway, with some of the members from Jellyfish, but without Andy, it's just not the same. And that's what makes it specials in music.
That's what it is.
Yes.
And that's why we so often get the solo album that we go, it's okay, but I don't want to listen to the almost. I don't.
Yeah.
So we'll get into all of that next week when we're back on the radio / video. Wake up. What is that?
Hey man, look at me rocking out. I'm on the radio.
Radio!
Hey man, look at me rocking out.
They wrote this.
I'm on the video. Hey man, look at me rocking out. I'm on the radio. Hey man, look at me rocking out. I'm on the video. With Danny and Lisa.
Who?
They take me away from the strangest place Sweet Danny and Lisa.
Okay.
They take me away from
They're sweet.
the strangest place
It's giving circus.
And now Cirque du Soleil.
Hey man, look at me rocking out. I'm on the radio. Hey man, look at me rocking out. I'm on the
Grayson.
With Danny and Lisa.
Nightwing.
They take me
You know.
away from
So there's this.
the strangest place
Where's the next one? Let me see here.
There's so much working here. It's awesome. That high guitar part.
And they calm down.
Yeah.
It's like a play. Oh, check this out. Why?
Why not?
I
is the
know.
question.
Do you know what this song's about?
His neighbors.
Yeah.
I read some quote where he was like, actually, our most serious songs are actually secretly are the ones that you think aren't really about anything or whatever. And I was like, okay, well,
That's why I'm like, Serge is writing. He's like, you know how war is bad?
Yeah.
And he's just like, when I was a kid, I went to my neighbor's house and listened to music with them.
Yeah.
And that was pretty important to me.
they gave me a Dan Fogelberg album, and now I have a whole song dedicated to Danny and Lisa.
That's really it. He's like, their names were Danny and Lisa, and they were nice.
yeah.
But it is an important thing to him.
Well, of course it
He's
is.
in one of the biggest bands in playing in Las Vegas next year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No.
They
it
took
is-
him away from his life.
I like it. I like it a lot. And when I first heard that, I was like, eh?
Oh,
And then
for the
you
first,
look,
you
and
know,
then you look it up. and
Yeah.
you figure it out. But you're like, I initially I just took it as like, well, that's part of like some some band lore. Maybe it's like part of the double album thing. Like we're gonna get more.
I always thought of Donny Osmond, but it's Danny and Lisa, so that doesn't really track.
Yeah. Donnie and Marie.
But I'm like Donnie and Marie are on TV, but his name's Danny. I could never quite crack it. I'm like, but he's saying Danny. There's songs I listened to when I was younger, like this, that I've just always listened to, and just never cared to look it up, I guess.
Sure.
So for 12 years, I'm just like, that's interesting. It's a weird song.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he's just pretending. I think he's over at their house just pretending. What if I was Dio?
Yeah.
Or whatever. What if I was Mama? Come on, help me out here.
Mama and the Papa.
Yes. What if I was Mama Papa? Mama Cass.
What if I was Dan Fogelberg?
And I wrote a song about it. So there's not much going on here, but there is. I just mean in terms of the lyrics, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'm not bored.
No, that's and if it weren't for this show, I wouldn't have looked up the lyric because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because it's just cool. It's a good song.
It's just a good song. That's what I mean. He's just writing a rock. He's like, this is what I they let me listen to rock music, and I'm going to write a rock song about them. My sweet neighbors. It almost makes you have a lump in your throat that you have to go to the doctor to get checked out. And he's like, that's called emotions.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
No, it's not. I swallowed a Coke can.
you know?
And he says, this Coke can makes me feel like I'm on the song.
Check this out.
Hello, my lady. Hello, my dog. Can't wait to watch this live with no audio.
And just hear us breathe.
There's nothing wrong with me, there's something wrong with you, there's something wrong with me. I hope it's something doesn't need the face.
He's really going for it.
For our next fix, there's nothing wrong with me, there's something wrong with you, there's something wrong with me. I hope it's something doesn't need the face. So we're crying for our next fix. Skeleton never had the legs, skeleton never had the legs, skeleton never had the legs. Single parts of convenience.
Check this out.
I can't see your jaws of thrill.
Kinda open it up.
Sliding architecture, kidnapped by the lights of pure conjecture. Upholstery loving man, all dwelling in the walls, kidnapped by the likes of pure conjecture. Skeleton never had the legs, skeleton never had the legs, skeleton never had the legs.
Good stuff.
There's nothing wrong with me, there's something wrong with you, and I, we're crying for our next fix. There's nothing wrong with me, there's
I
something
think this album's chaotic, but it's not as heavy as their old stuff, and I think that's why I like it. Gives him room to kind of play around with his voice more and stuff, because he's still doing that. Every song he's kind of putting on this. I'm in a band and I'm. Yeah. How do you come to that? Like that? There's also a way that he says these lines.
Yeah.
That's funny. But like the crazed way he says there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
And then the authoritative figure of, but I know that there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Don't eat the fish.
Don't eat the fish. Rick's like, good. That's it.
I don't even know what I'm doing, man. That's awesome.
Don't eat the fish. It's about drugs.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the song is the title.
This cocaine makes me feel like I'm on this song.
Because in modern day, maybe this was back then too, but a lot of times when someone features on a song, they will say, I'm on this song or I'm on this track.
Okay.
So in that way, this cocaine makes me feel like I'm on the song, makes me think that I'm on the song. Like I didn't sing it.
Yeah. Did you think you were doing? You're
I
like,
thought
I'm
I was
doing these
like-
weird voices.
I was like, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong. Don't eat the fish. Don't eat the fish.
You're trying to figure out because you're like, there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with me. I hope Sipton doesn't eat the fish.
Eat the fish.
Eat the fish.
Eat the fish.
Like, I don't know. It doesn't sound like me, but it says I'm on this song.
Yeah, it says this cocaine makes me feel like. Well, then I said, oh, it makes me feel like I'm on
Yeah.
this song. Then it became. But then
Well, you're also like, I didn't do any cocaine either.
I realized it. Well, I didn't say that. Oh! Then I realized it's something of a spoonerism, Joey.
This song makes me feel like I'm on cocaine. And it does, I guess, because it's so crazy.
It's so wild and wacky. There's something wrong with me. There's a paranoia that I think that happens.
But it makes you feel good before it kills you.
Yeah.
Killers never hurt feelings.
Killers never hurt feelings.
Killers never
Gonorrhea,
hurt me.
Gorgonzola.
Gonorrhea, Gorgonzola. Yeah, you might just want to skim past that one because you're not going to make sense of that.
Even these dumb shits on Genius are like cheese made out of an STD. They're like, I don't know.
They probably like reach out to him to ask him that, and you're like, what's up with the gonorrhea, Gorgonzola line? And he was just like, don't eat the fish, and then slam the door.
Don't eat the fish. No, it's a fun song.
Yeah,
It's one of those, gonorrhea, Gorgonzola makes as much sense as anything else. That's kind of the point.
Well, there's a song on the next album where the main lyrics are banana, 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 terracotta, banana, terracotta, terracotta pie.
Of course.
And then is there? Yeah, it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
I love it. But I also like music that is serious.
Well, yes, of course.
And I think, and I can't even say the next name of this song. Basically, Violent P.
Well, it's the stuff that you told me you like.
I can't figure out a way to make a joke where I don't get.
I'll make it about you.
Yeah, violent pornography. Just like staring at the bass player. The bass players turn around, staring at the drummer. They're just one beast right now.
Everybody living now. Everybody fucks. Everybody living now. Everybody sucks. Everybody living now. Everybody cries. Everybody living now. Everybody dies. It's a non-stop disco, make cheese, the bisco, make shit in. Non-stop disco, make cheese, the bisco,
Turn that up.
Okay.
non-stop disco, make shit in, no, make shit in, no. Non-stop disco, make shit in, no, make shit in, no, make shit in, no. Everybody living now. Everybody fucks. Everybody living now. Everybody sucks. Everybody living now. Everybody dies. Everybody living now. Everybody cries. It's a non-stop disco, make cheese, the bisco, make shit in, no. Non-stop disco, make cheese, the bisco, make shit in, no.
We're almost getting to. I don't even know what the chorus is.
Turn this part up. Come on.
I can't. I'm so scared.
Your parents aren't watching.
It's a violent pornography, choking chicks and sodomy, the kind of shit you get on your TV. Everybody living now. Everybody.
You know what's crazy? The music is happy, but what they're singing about is so
Daggone dark.
fricked up.
I like that, yeah.
I gotta go back.
Go back. That's a
People, if you love this band, you're listening to this episode, you'll love this too. Wait.
I can't even do that.
I can't do anything they do. Here we go. He did.
It worked.
Took him a second.
Yeah, it did take him a second, but he finally spat it out.
Yep.
This is the track to beat.
Yeah, really.
This is my favorite song on the album.
Really?
Yeah.
I got scared when I picked this album because I was like, I forgot. I mean, when I listened to it as a kid, I was just like,
Well, they're not saying it's good.
I know, but I was 10. I was an idiot.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. But I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
It's just it's about consumerism, materialistic society, bro.
Absolutely, bro.
Nabisco, of course.
Of course. I think that's funny. Yeah, what is the bet she is Nabisco?
It's a nonstop disco. Bet you it's Nabisco. Bet you didn't know. Ho-oh. What I read, and I probably read it on Genius. But it was like, maybe it wasn't. I read it somewhere, but it's like Nabisco was a big advertiser, or like they gave money to,
Nabisco is a large sponsor of pornography. Bet you didn't know is referring to the fact that most people didn't know about Nabisco's involvement. I just kind of assume like it's the classic, like,
it's also nonsense sometimes. Like, it's just the idea of like advertisers. Yeah. They might be correct because I saw that they did, like, I think had some ties to, like I said, some sort of soft porn mags.
Yeah.
Some softos. Yeah. Is what I ask when I go to like the newsstand. I'm like, can you give me a couple softos in the back there? Mm-hmm. The ones in the bags. Mm-hmm. Bazongas. The Daily Show.
I just thought it was like, how like football stadiums are like the State Farm, Chips Ahoy stadium, and you're like, what? Mm-hmm. Who plays there? And you're like, the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders play at the State Farm Chips Ahoy.
It's sad.
MetLife Stadium.
It's sad. It makes it hard for Lars Ulrich to remember shows now.
Yeah.
He's like, it's all Chips Ahoy to me.
So I just kind of took it as that, like.
But I think you can.
It's a nonstop disco. Bet you it's Nabisco. Like,
they're also rhyming like, disco with Nabisco.
Well, sure.
It's just the idea in general of consumer, like, advertising.
That's like sponsored.
Watching a TV show that has choking chicks and sodomy.
Yeah.
And then they cut to...
Which I'm like, Dad, what TV shows are you watching?
I know. I'm like, the kind of stuff that's on your TV, I'm like, not on my TV. My parents do not let me get Skinamax.
Yeah.
But then it cuts to a Captain Crunch commercial. Yeah.
That's good. I like that. So maybe Nabisco sponsored a Playboy, had an ad in a Playboy.
They got my vote.
But I like more so that idea of like you see the most deranged stuff on. Well, HBO doesn't have commercials though, so you see the most deranged stuff on Nip Tuck because that was probably out around this time. That's probably what they were talking about, Nip Tuck, and they were like, "Dang!" And then it goes to a Chips Ahoy commercial. I like that. That's good. But when that chorus hits. The violent pornography, choking chicks and sodomy. You don't even have to. You could be saying gibberish.
Yeah.
And when that chorus hits, just that melody, that's so good, and it just elevates everything up.
Mm-hmm. I think that's how I listened to it as a kid. I was like, this is all because it gets to that, and like I said in the earlier part, it kind of like opens up a bit, and it's just like, and it's like, yeah. But of course, it is about brainwashing because you see the nasty that you want, and then they cut to, of course, the nasty that you shouldn't have, which is the cheese stick or the Quaker Oat Man, and you go and you're tying that in your little lizard brain.
It's Pavlovian.
It definitely is Pavlovian, and I think it's something that we should cover sometime on the show, right? Landon, did you leave? Landon?
Yeah.
Violent pornography, choking chicks and sodomy, the kind of shit you get on your TV.
And they're just harmonizing all the time.
Sounds so good. And then doesn't it at the end it goes to like halftime?
Yeah.
Doesn't it where they like the little breakdown?
You're gonna make me go down there. Yeah.
It's a violent
wait, yeah, and
turn up.
chicks and sodomy. The kind of shit you get on your TV.
Okay, it didn't get there,
But it will. I think. I'm pretty sure.
I've heard this album before.
I've heard it.
Okay, here we go. Come on. Come on, do it. Like, Serge, the fans really want a new album. He's gonna watch it. This video. He's like your biggest fans. We had to put him down. Oh my god, it's a non-stop disco. And then he's still at the disco.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's good stuff. But it's a great song.
Rick's having fun in the studio, I guess. Is there anything else?
The only thing is I stand with women having agency to be in sex work if they want to be.
If you want to and everything's consensual, fine. But what he's saying is something. And don't even take it too seriously. Now you're looking at us.
Now you're mad at us.
Now you're mad at
like
us.
the song.
Yeah. But you know what that leaves me with? A question! Question. The word question, but with an exclamation point at the end. Just to keep you on your toes. They know what they're doing.
Think on that one, asshole.
Sweet berries ready for two ghosts are no different than you. Ghosts are now waiting for you, are you? Sweet berries ready for two ghosts are no different than you. Ghosts are now waiting for you, are you? Dreaming the night.
Shavos just
Dreaming, alright. Do we know when we fly? When we go? Do we die?
This is maybe my favorite on the album.
Yeah, it's great.
I love this stuff.
This is kind of like the song. So you get the song before where it's like, this is our, to me, like their best, like kind of just straight rock song. And then this is like, but also we can do like awesome, like we're more than just a little rock band. We transcend what you think we are.
That's what I'm like, I got other bands where I can go to for the heavy
Yeah.
stuff. I want to hear Surge. Everything he says sounds important. And then you've got Mr. High voice behind him. You've got this, and it's got that cool riff in it. Here we go. And you're kind of on the road with them. You're like, where do we go when we fly? You think they got in a plane, they were just confused? Like, where are you taking us?
Yeah.
Are we going to die?
They're just worried.
Guys back there.
He's got to play a whole show.
And you know what? The song has no answers. It's a question. It's
Yeah.
just asking.
Question.
When we fly,
Do we know when we fly?
well, when we go, do we die? And they're like, sir, you're going to Tucson.
Question.
So he's like, so the answer is yes.
Oh.
That's a hot heat. God, it's 90 degrees down there. Well, at least it's a hot heat. Uh-huh. So, sweet berries ready for two ghosts are no different than you. Ghosts are now waiting for you. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Ghosts are now waiting for you. Are you? I think he's talking to the ghosts at that point.
Well, I'm getting sweet berries ready for 2 ghosts. Are no different than you. Ghosts are now waiting for you. Are you? Sweet berries ready for 2 ghosts. Are you different than?
Are no different than
Dreaming
you.
the night, dreaming all right. Do we know when we fly? Great song. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
I mean, it's again, I think, a little bit of a story up top. And then I saw the music video, and I was like, I remember this music video on Fuse.
Oh.
So I remember the song.
So they did do this one. Maybe it was this, and then what? Then probably Hypnotized was the one from the next album where he's waiting in the car. He's in the car waiting for his girl. You remember that one? I'm not going to play it for you.
No.
It's not
I'll
on
look
this
it
album.
up.
So, oh gosh.
I will be checking out the rest of their oeuvre.
I really wish, I felt like this was the perfect direction for this band. Because, like I said, there's things I like about, I'm like, if I want the heavy stuff, I go somewhere else. If I want what they're doing now, which is experimenting more with their sound, even though I like Toxicity, and a lot of that's tied to when I first heard it. Mm-hmm. But there's very good songs on there. Mm. Then there's fun stuff. Like the first song on Steal This Album is about pizza toppings.
Yeah, that's just funny.
Pepperoni and green peppers, mushrooms, olives, chives. It's about advertising again. They love this stuff. But it's like, it's a great rock song. You're just like, yeah, pepperoni and green peppers. I got to see these guys live. Yeah. I haven't been able to yet. And
go on down to Vegas.
It'll be fun.
Go to the Sphere.
Go on down to Vegas and have yourself a time. Of course, when you go to Vegas, they have lots of, what is it, like replicas? Like they have the like Lady Liberty. And I think, like, if you want to see the Eiffel Tower, you want to go to the real thing. I think anything else is just a sad statue.
Sacrifice eloquence belongs to the conqueror. The pictures of time and space are rearranged in this little piece of typical tragedy. Justified candy brandy for the nerds. Eloquence belongs to the conqueror. You and me will all go.
They always put in this shit where you're like, God, that's good.
Yeah. These are my favorite parts on their album. And then this. I want that big drum like you're saying though. Here. Literally.
Yeah. It's just large.
Oh, he forgot to tell you.
To the lover and your love to the fire. Permanence unfolding in the absolute. Forgiveness they all damage sacrifice. Eloquence belongs to the conqueror. You and me will all go down in history with a sad statue of liberty.
Because of this part, like it's also one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah. The back half of this is just, I mean, the front half is great, but the back half is even greater.
Between these 2 albums, there's songs like more songs like this on the next album where I'm like, oh my god. This is what I do. Not at a Switchfoot concert. I do this at a System of Down. Like you see me ascend into the sky. They just slip little things in there. When you look there, you go, oh, he's not messing around. What is in us that turns our deaf ear to the cries of human suffering?
Suffering now, woe, suffering now. Yeah.
And then here we go. Is this the halftime part? Yeah.
With the little shaker, just to add a little. It's just so good.
Yeah, I love this song. Here's the fault of this. I know there's 2 of the albums, but it's just so short. Like by the time I get really going into it, I'm like Sad Statue,
Yeah.
and then
No, it's best.
you're almost over.
It's best this way.
Yeah.
You don't want to overstay your welcome.
No.
We've seen a lot of groups do that on this show.
It's true.
Cut out a couple songs and you have a perfect album. In this case,
This is why I worry about if they do come out with a new album, which they might never.
it's seeming
20
like
years
not.
later, you're like, they're also going to sound 20 years older.
Yeah. Can't even imagine what that. I can't even try to replicate what that might sound like.
I
Probably sound like that little 20-year-old guy from Geese.
As I was born, I brought the boys of the mother.
Sad Statue. I think this is a pretty good song.
I mean, yeah, it's a great song.
There's not much I can say about these things.
I mean, and lyrically,
There's little parts in each song, but there's so much going on in each song.
like you pointed out, that's the big moment. What is it? What is in us that turns a deaf ear to the cries of human suffering? Of course, but I mean, God, forgiveness is the ultimate sacrifice. Eloquence belongs to the conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could sit and think about that for months and never quite come to terms with what it's really saying. I have my thoughts, but I'll leave them to myself. I'm not going to tell them on this podcast. No, but I think
Eloquence belongs to the conqueror, conquest to the lover, and your love to the fire. Permanence unfolding in the absolute. You're like, where's this coming from? I just heard you sing about Danny and Lisa.
now you sound like you're with that Me Without You guy eating turnips and trying to start your car.
Yeah, he's like, you got any trash left over? He's like, Walder's in a state.
Dang, you can really sing, man.
Hey, it's raining.
You
out.
gonna eat that?
Me.
I need it for my car.
Your car runs on French fries.
You and me will all go down in history with a sad statue of liberty in a generation that didn't agree, man.
And we're still feeling that way, aren't we?
Not
Even more so.
20 years later, it's
This is
worse
what makes
than it
me a
was.
little sad about all music that I listen to.
Yeah.
Like when I saw that new Green Day
Yeah.
song and someone said punk rock will save us all. I was like, it hasn't done jack shit yet. It's fun to listen to and hope that it will.
No.
But they failed. They failed.
Well, it does. I was listening to someone the other day who was like debating the influence of people, musicians or online. Specifically, they were talking about like online content creators who have huge followers, like huge numbers, like millions of followers that do whatever they say and donate to their crap. And like that guy who said he had a PS5 in New York.
People
and,
like killed each other.
Yeah. Like these people, and some people, specifically in the political space, will not, like, I can't think of the word, not activate their audience to be politically activist,
Right.
Because they want to say, well, actually, I'm just an entertainer. I don't have any influence. And one person was saying, well, yeah, you have tons of influence because you can activate these people to go out and, knock on doors and whatever, go to polls, go to the polling places, volunteer, all this stuff. And they're like, no, that's not actually going to do anything. And then what they call it's called doomerism, where you just believe that nothing will ever change. And I don't want to be that, but you also look at, like, you see it from both sides, where it's like the millions of people listen to this type of stuff, Rage Against the Machine, Green Day. We've talked about a bunch of people that have political activist agendas behind their music and behind their art. And I believe that it's all for something, and it does help tip the scales to the side of good for mankind.
Mm-hmm.
But there is the other side of it where just everything in the whole of the world being the opposite way is just too powerful to overcome.
Yeah, because I mean, what I'm about to say is going to make you look at me and say, "Okay, Doomer." But you do look around and you go, "Well, it hasn't done anything yet."
Right.
You've got pockets of that.
Yeah.
But then you look at like, I just don't. People just like you look at bands like Rage Against the Machine. There's the whole thing like they're coming out against cops. It's like, you moron.
Mm-hmm.
That's their entire thing is built around what they're still fighting for.
Yeah.
And people don't recognize that. Or like during the Black Lives Matter protest, Black Sabbath put out a Black Lives Matter shirt, and people were like, "What are you doing?" It's like, if you listen to them,
Right.
it's like the most anti-war. Like, I just, people that you think would be like, well, of course they listen to them. People listen to System of a Down are also probably online saying like, the government's about to send out a 5G signal, like alarm. You need to throw your phone into the washing machine,
Right.
so it does not activate the COVID vaccine that you hopefully did not get. Like, there are people that listen to those like bands in certain genres too, where you're just
absolutely.
like, and you go to shows. I mean, we go to shows where I'm like, I bet everyone here is kind of like us, but then there's some people it's like, no, and you wonder like, what's it like being in a band where you have fans that suck?
Yeah.
Like, they like your, like, you know, they like your stuff, but they're like a racist.
Right.
Like, because you think they're getting the message, and sometimes they're not.
They're
or
not, or
taking
they're
the wrong thing
taking
from it
the wrong-
somehow.
Like they listen to Revenga
Mm-hmm.
and they say, "Yeah,
Yeah,
right." And they
like he
don't-
should do that.
Yeah.
I can't believe he really did that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know because I think we're gonna just keep. But then it's like, well, you can't. In the other way, you can't stop.
But it's
You
like,
can't stop. Or maybe you can. I don't know.
but I feel like the people that are always, when someone does get political,
Mm-hmm.
take a Bruce Springsteen, and they're like, "What? The working man?" And he's like, "He likes Obama." It's like you've got people that then will say, "Keep out of politics. Just do your thing," which is crazy because everyone's still a person. But then it's like, but that only applies if they are on a side that they thought they weren't on.
Right.
Like, then if you go to a Kid Rock concert and he's like, "How about them Donald Trumps?"
Right.
People are like, yeah.
Yeah.
But if he were to say, "You know what, I was wrong. Joe Biden is my hero,"
Right.
then people would be, it's like they, I don't know if it sometimes steers people. I think it does, because it did that to me, I think.
Yeah.
I think the music I listen to has informed a lot of my decisions.
Yeah. Totally.
So,
I think more than any other art form, music and the people I listen to have shaped
that's
my,
what I think, because
my
it's like, well, you
worldview.
care about their art, and you
Yeah.
like, they are saying things, and it's like, well, maybe I should listen to them or see if this is important to them. Why is it? And if I agree with them so much on what they are making, and sometimes you don't, and you're like, oh man, they really have a take that I don't agree with or something.
Well,
I can't think of, I don't know.
There's a band that we'll probably come around to because they have an album. I like all their music, but one of their albums is one of my favorite albums probably of all time. And within the last 6 or 7 years, like with Donald Trump, basically they outed themselves as being Trumpian, or I guess like the libertarian, but actually just conservative.
Right, yeah.
You're like, well, it's kind of weird that you align with everything this guy's saying, but and then it's kind of like, well, now I can't really listen to your stuff anymore because I thought it was coming from this, like I can listen to it and enjoy it for what it is, but the meaning behind it that I felt feels a little less impactful. knowing that maybe it
Yeah.
wasn't coming from the same spot that I was coming from and where I thought you were coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll still put it on and listen to it. And like I said, we'll probably listen to it on this very show someday. But
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then you have the people who say, stick to politics. But then, it goes for both sides. You have
They say stick to politics.
I mean, they say stick to music. But it goes for both sides. Then you have your friend, Kanye West, coming out, who's
Why lives matter.
saying this craziest political stuff.
Please don't isolate that. I'm simply saying what his shirt says.
and then,
But it doesn't.
The left will say,
I don't know.
just.
But people will also kind of, I don't know. They'll say like, yeah, he's crazy, but they're like, but it's still a bop, and they'll still
Right.
kind of play his stuff. Like, what does it matter if I'm playing a little Kanye in the car?
That's true.
But also,
They
his
won't,
music now is devolved into nonsense. So it's also like, well, I
Yeah.
also don't need to worry about it too much
Yeah,
because what he's doing now sucks.
that's true. I guess maybe I get why we don't have to talk about this, but
Well, it's all tied into System of a Down. It
is.
but I mean,
just think,
hey, I'm okay. You're right. I should say this because of what Kanye's doing. Maybe I haven't looked into what he's doing lately, and so maybe he is doing some good stuff, and I just haven't listened to it because I can't stand what he's doing politically and otherwise.
Oh yeah, no. Musically, I have no idea.
So,
But-
it's a weird place to be, especially if you love someone so much like that, and then you find out that they don't stand for something you do. Like, do you then maybe change your beliefs, or do you go like, I know they're in the wrong from what I believe is true about the world?
Well, that's the thing, and I think that's what is so impactful when you are like as a grown man. I know I'm probably not going to change my mind about too much. For one, I have facts on my side.
Yeah.
And just like morally, I know I'm better than you.
Yeah. Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, as a grown person, you kind of have your morality straightened out if you've done the work to get there, I guess. But I mean, not that I've done any work. That's another thing. I was like, I had good parents. I listened to good music, and I feel that I am on the right side of
History.
hopefully. and will be. And probably when I'm 70, I won't be.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope I am,
Yeah.
because we're tolerating something now that we won't be, and we don't even know what it is yet. That's something that we'll have to contend with when we get older. But
I think you're doing more work than, oh man, and this is going to be on YouTube, and I hope you're doing more work than the people that go, I understand what this president is terrible. Kind of, but they say, but I loved when gas was $2, and that's enough for
Yes.
me to vote for them.
yeah, of course.
Or anyone in a position of power, not even the president, just like, I know they said some bad stuff, but like, he's still my buddy.
Yeah,
I know he did something to that girl, but he's still my buddy. And just like, holy shit.
yeah.
There's that. There's that, and I think there's morally people that say like, I can't turn this my eye to that. I can't pretend like that stuff's not happening.
Yeah.
And then you'll see bands like that maybe, like, what is it? The band Skillet, the Christian
Sure.
band Skillet, that they've like they'll wear shirts that say "Do not comply,"
Oh, really?
and they were on Candace Owens' show like a couple weeks ago, and
Really?
and then so you've got Christians that are like, yes, you're doing God's work, and other Christians that are like, I can't believe this is. So even within factions,
Yes.
you've got people that are just, everything's screwed up. I always like to say, humans are the failed experiment.
I guess
love to say that.
it's true. He says it. He calls me, and he just says that.
3 in the
hangs up.
morning.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think that there is, maybe I'm giving humanity a little more credit than it's due when 50% of America is mentally unwell because of one man like single-handedly brainwashed them,
Gotcha.
and an entire media
Yes.
apparatus that propagate it. But point being, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe grown men, grown people aren't as self actualized as I just said they were, and hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully I will continue to grow and learn and decide what I agree with and what I don't. I just mean getting in on the ground floor when you're a young person and you hear the right music and it helps you see things a certain way, and who you're around, your parents, your friends, adult guardians in your life that shape you. These are all, obviously, I'm not saying anything new here, but that's all important to where you are. But I think music in particular was that for me.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
I think we'll get into that as we get into more albums too.
Sure.
I think that certain genres like this, or maybe probably punk music, where it's very set in that. I mean, you don't hear a lot of, like, at this point in time, a lot of punk bands that are like right wing. It's a certain type of music that focuses on politics from a sort of probably more liberal viewpoint. Yeah.
Well, because we don't need to get into it.
Well, we can't. I mean, this. I think this album is a good way to lead into that, and this next song definitely, which speaks to politics. Like this song's like steeped in political stuff.
Yeah.
It's called Old School Hollywood.
Get the synth out, Rick.
What? I'm talking to it. What?
Vocorder. Vocorder.
Chonky. That's one of the best opening lines of any song.
Tony Danza cuts in line.
He loves it.
Standing in the sun, I'm wasting my time. Old school Hollywood, old school Hollywood baseball. Jack Girardi's 10 feet tall. Old school Hollywood baseball. Me and Frankie Avalon. Old school Hollywood, washed up Hollywood. Old school Hollywood, washed up Hollywood. Hey man, don't you touch my belt. Old school Hollywood, washed up Hollywood. Standing in the sun, I'm about to melt.
All right.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
This was one of the songs that took a good decade to grow on me. I like the sound of it, but I was like, don't give a shit about baseball. And I was like, I don't understand what this metaphor is. Turns out it's old Darren again.
Not a metaphor.
He went to. I just love that there's so much stuff out there about bands, and he's like, I went to a baseball game that was a bunch of old Hollywood guys.
Celebrity baseball.
And Tony Danza was kind of a dick and cut in line. He is like the rock guy. He's just like, these things happened to me and I'm going to write a song about it.
Yeah.
And then Serge is like, old school Hollywood, washed up Hollywood. And you're like, dang, it's deeper than you think it is.
Yeah.
He's like,
Just kidding.
Jack Girardi's 10 feet tall, a kind of sleazy scuzzball producer man.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie Avalon's there.
Yeah.
It's what the song is.
Me and Frankie
It just sounds
Avalon.
cool.
Yeah. Did they ever play this live, you think?
I hope so. It's probably one of those things that the Surge is like, we don't need to make another album.
I've been to a lot more celebrity events
I know that.
the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Darren keeps coming to Surge. I've got songs ready.
Playing golf with Chris Angel.
Celebrity poker. Norm Macdonald.
now that I
We
got a
can't
funny
do-
story.
We can't do that one. He's gone.
It's you can't not like it because it's just a fun song.
Yeah, it's great. And it's a little kind of a palate cleanser, if you will.
If someone says like, "What? It's about some Hollywood baseball." Yeah, it is. Sorry.
And just from going Sad Statue into old school Hollywood, and then into Lost in Hollywood.
Yes, they've set up a certain motif that we can't knock down.
Mm-hmm. Because it's Sad Statues kind of had that heavier import, and then you have a little fun one.
And then you go to the last song on the album.
Yeah. Shit, he needs an exorcist.
You're crazy. Those vicious streets
I feel like it's raining out, and you're like, all the sleaze balls are out. You're on Skid Row on accident. And these guys are from LA.
Yes,
They know what it's like.
they've been to LA, Hollywood. They from there.
Don't say no one tried to warn you about them dirty producers.
Hollywood. That build up, you feel like it's gonna go into one of their
Yeah.
but
They're like, hey, man.
we're sticking here, baby. This is the last song. We're gonna make you know it's the last song by keeping it right here, baby. Doesn't it just have that feeling of the last song?
Come on, baby. You know you're at the last song when this comes on.
I was standing on the wall, feeling 10 feet tall.
Like that Jack Girardi bastard.
Bags on San
What?
This is my front page. This is my new
Wait.
all you bitches put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care.
Yeah.
All
you're
you
gonna like
bitches.
this song.
Smoking fags out there on Sunset Boulevard.
Guy thinks he's
Sunset
British.
Boulevard.
These are streets in Hollywood.
I never would have guessed that.
Bitches put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care.
And then this. I get a little goosebumps in there.
Phony people come to play.
Wow.
Look at all of them beg to stay. Phony people come to pray. The lines in the letter said, look at all of them beg to stay.
What?
People come to pray.
I just noticed that.
I can't get it.
Ah, the lines in the letter said, "We have gone to Hackensack." What a weird.
God. What do you think that means? You think that means they went back home? It's just such a funny name for a town to pick. My
Well,
guy's picking out Hackensack.
Yeah, because it doesn't even really rhyme.
No.
Said Hackensack.
The lines in the letter said, "We have gone to Hackensack. Phony people come to play."
And of course, the genius annotation is just it's gobbledygook. I won't even bore you with.
Spare me, almighty spare. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's why I never noticed that until just this second. Isn't that funny?
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I'm digging on this song.
I'm loving this song. It's just got that last song epic feel
Yeah.
to it.
This is where it kind of goes. Shh.
Never trusted Hollywood.
I will say a little confusing last song on the album, just
Yeah.
thematically,
Yeah,
where I'm like, because then the last two are about Hollywood,
yeah. There's like,
and I'm just like,
what the hell do you guys care? Most.
like you're singing about politicians and they're swinging their dongers around, and he's like, you should have never gone to. It's like all of a sudden you care about Hollywood.
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah, I agree.
And like old school Hollywood baseball is before it, so they're kind of like, well, they kind of go together. But I'm like, that's the final statement you leave us on.
Yeah,
Is like, hey, Hollywood's kind of. It's like, well, yeah, we know.
yeah,
It doesn't mean I don't want to go there with every fiber of my being.
yeah.
Every fiber of my being longs to be in Hollywood, saying, look at me tap dance for all the people. Aren't I so funny? Aren't I so clever?
Yeah.
And they clap, and the producer says, come here, kid. You're the best we've ever seen.
Yeah, I would give it anything to have that happen.
Yeah.
So, especially around this time, I think a lot of other bands are singing about Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a few
Name
different.
one.
Well, the band in particular that I thought of was Yellow Card, where
Yeah.
after their big album, then they have their second big album, Lights and Sounds,
Yeah.
and it spends a lot of time talking about how Hollywood's so dang
Hollywood
messed up.
died.
Hollywood died. City of Angels, or wait,
Mm-hmm.
City of Devils, actually, stinky. And because I think it is, and even on Ocean Avenue, they have a few. There's like, sometimes I wish it would just rain here because it's so fake and phony.
Well,
sunny
did you
skies.
listen to that interview with Ryan Key he did?
No.
He talks about it. He says,
Well, I know they went.
he's like, I fell
Yeah.
into the trap.
Yeah.
I did everything under the sun.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't even tell you. He didn't say any of that. But he did say, he's like,
Yeah.
it hurt the band because I got into it. And it's just like, man, I'd give anything to be you.
That's what my point. All these bands have the same story where they get huge.
Yeah.
They're just kids in whatever their little hometown is. They get a huge hit. They go out to Hollywood. They
But I think they're
have sex with a model.
yeah, boo-hoo. I think
so
their
sad.
their view on it is that because they
from
grew up
there.
in Los Angeles,
They're like
they grew up around everyone coming to and they're just like, it's all bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
And you're just like, shut up, dude.
There's a certain model I wanted to talk to. If you could just
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Hollywood Squares is calling my name.
yeah, I want to meet Bill Maher.
Whoopi's in the top third. So
Yeah.
but still a good song.
It's a good song.
I think the next part of this album has, like I said, some really good stuff. It's maybe a little more uneven, but it's just great to get all this stuff together. This is a great album as one piece. I think they hit their stride here, and then sadly, I mean, maybe not sadly, it leaves you wanting more, and isn't that what we want from our favorite bands?
Well, no, I just want more.
Yeah, I don't care if there's a few hits and misses in there.
Yeah. But these are, I think, across the board hits as far as I'm concerned. There's only one, that second song, Revenga. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Revenga.
My sweet revenge.
It's a good song. It's just, to me, it's the lesser of all of them, which is no problem because I still like it. I'm just thinking on the 30th listen, that's the one I might skip if I had to pick out a skip track.
I don't know. Maybe mine would be This Cocaine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
But it's
listen
so
to all of them.
That's such a quick little.
I can't even say I don't like it. I'm just trying to pick one because you made me.
You don't have to.
I skip the Soldier Side intro sometimes.
Oh, sure.
So I'm like,
But that's kind of
this album.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to hear the whole song later. What are you going to ask me?
I don't know. Just something we always do. Pick your top 3 tracks.
Yeah. I forgot about that. We just did it
do
last week.
Yeah. Every week we do it.
Oh, my goodness. The one I was going to pick says here, all songs written by Darren Malkian.
See?
Except Question, written by him and Serge. That can't be right. Do you think when they say song, they mean like the music?
Yeah.
Question's my favorite.
Yeah.
Then Sad Statue. Maybe B.Y.O.B.
It is good. It's one of those where you
But it's a
overlook it because it's a single.
yeah.
Yeah. But it is good. I mean, there's a reason it's a single, right?
But when I come back and listen to it with fresh ears like I did, because I didn't listen, a few years go by and it's like, I haven't listened to this album for like 8 years.
Yeah.
You listen to it again, it's like, holy, holy, holy.
Yep.
So I think that one, I think I like it now better now than I did even when it was a single. There was a time in my life too when I got excited about that stuff. This is a better time in my life where a single would come out and you're like, this is awesome. I'm hearing a new song from this band.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, anyone can do that. Why do I give a shit?
Well,
Anyone
it's
can
just
make a song.
Yeah.
It was maybe because it was harder to. It was like you kind of had to go somewhere and wait for the song to come out. Like, I remember when bands would have little puzzles and like you got to figure it out to figure out like the code to listen to their single.
Sure.
That happens sometimes. Now it's just like, hey, it's on Spotify.
It's all at your fingertips,
So I like.
And it used to be like,
those.
MTV Hits will be premiering the video of the new single. You're like at 9 p.m. on Friday. You have to stay up.
Music videos. When's the last time you watched a music video?
Today when I watched Question.
Oh. I just feel like bands now will put out music videos and it just isn't the same for me because it's not like, oh, they had to get like a video shoot put together. Because now it's like their friend followed them out into a field and they held some signs up with words on them. And, then they played it in reverse. Sometimes I'm, the new Blink-182 stuff, I was like, I'll check them out.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just feels the novelty has worn off.
Yeah. Well, now it's like you almost have to. You either have to be a huge like Beyonce or Taylor Swift for someone to like care that you have a music video.
But those are also like they're almost movies at this point.
Yeah.
Like a Taylor Swift video is highly produced.
Yeah.
Whereas like a band I listened to put out a music video today and it was made by someone. They're not even in the. It's just like something someone made for the song.
Right.
And so I'm just like, I don't.
That's what I mean, though.
I mean, sit and watch those.
It used to be that was kind of your business card. So a band would put a lot of money into it because that's the thing that people are going to see to go check out more stuff.
Yeah, because that's how I got into a lot of stuff. I'd watch VH1 late at night.
Yeah,
I'm like,
of course.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I like the song.
Yeah.
And that's how stuff worked. And I mean, it's just crazy. Shout outs and be letting us know your thoughts, of course. I like this album.
Do you miss music videos? Let us know in the comments.
We'll make one for you. So what do we give this usually out of, like, what is it? 10? 10 bones or something?
Out of 10.
Well, what's on this album cover? The clocks?
10 clocks. Sure.
Yeah, 10 clocks. Man, I try to not let I try not to let the nostalgia play be a factor in a lot of this stuff. I like to be able to listen to what I listen to and not go, oh, but it reminds me of this, but it's actually shitty. Because there are people that do that. They kind of find a way out of what they like by saying, like, I know it's actually shitty, but I listened to it when I was 12. Right. And you're just like, do you like it or not?
Yeah.
I give this 9 out of 10 clocks. 9.5. No, 9. I know later I'm going to be like, that's too high. That's too many clocks. I give it 9 clocks.
That's good.
But of course, I picked the album. So of course, I would give it that many. Thoughts?
I can't.
Oh no, it's like 7.5.
I can't give it a perfect 10, but I don't really know why.
That's my problem.
I just feel like I can't. I give it 9.
Wow.
Yep.
This was a surprise to me.
I know.
I
You
haven't
thought
brought
I
in
was
any-
a little pansy ass
Yeah,
bitch. didn't you?
there's some stuff where I'm still
You're
like
you can't handle it.
I just don't want people to have to listen to stuff they don't like. That's my thing.
Sure, but that's what the show is.
I know.
And look,
We've hated everything so far.
didn't we surprise you today, old boy? I like good stuff. If it's good, I'm gonna like
That's
it.
what I tell. They're like, I didn't know you liked that. And it's like, if it's good, it's good. When people go, I didn't know you like Reliant K because you like. And it's like, if it's good,
If it's good,
I listen to it.
Yes.
And you should listen to Reliant K. They're one of the best bands in the world.
They really are, and we'll get to them. It's truly shocking that we haven't yet.
I was just thinking about that yesterday because I was thinking of how good Forget Not Slow Down is.
It's one of the best.
I was just thinking about it like on an elevator, and someone was like, "What are you doing with your hands?" I was like, "Nothing." And like crazy, we haven't covered any of that. But of course, that's the show.
That's the show. That's the fun of it.
Ow. Sorry. Just got pegged. So, of course, I picked this, and now it is your turn, old boy. What dog will you take a hunting next week on the show?
I'm trying to. All right, I think I'm gonna go.
Well, you've had about a month.
I know, but it's been I was gonna go one way, and now I'm gonna go another way. I think just right now in this moment, in this instant.
In this moment.
Although I don't know. I mean, we'll probably get back around to that. Well,
That's what I did with this. I had 2 other bands that I was like, I can probably do these off of Geese better, and I was like, I can't do it because this album I just listened to it and I said it's too damn good.
yeah.
And I wanted to talk about our friend Alex, and it's just strange that like that, someone can just give you something and change the course of literally everything I listened to.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what's this but more? It just took me down a path of being in 6th grade and listening to stuff that it's like, I don't know what anyone else is listening to, but I'm finding stuff here that I like. It was taking me down a path just because Alex gave it to me. Someone who probably doesn't even remember who I am. You know, I also watched Goldfinger at his house for the first time.
Jesus, you owe everything to this man.
I should call him and thank him.
We should.
Thanks to you, I have a podcast.
We should have him on the show. This is your fault. We'll call it.
Can't you see that you love my dog?
Do you want something from the 70s or something a little more modern?
Ooh. I don't care.
Well, I'm just trying to.
What are you trying to base it off of? Because Geese was just kind of whatever.
Same.
Okay. I guess what am I doing? I try to find an in. But that's just me. I like the game of.
It's between a more contemporary band that I know you
like.
Well, I know you at least. I just found out that you like at least one of their albums because you saw them live, and I didn't know that you had seen them live before.
What the fuck? I don't know who this is.
And then the other option is, and they kind of, they have 2 singers. They alternate singing and stuff, and it's kind of fun.
I think maybe I know who you're thinking of.
And then the other thing is like a guy from the 60s and 70s that he kind of changes his voice. That's my in for him, is he kind of changes his voice to make it sound funny sometimes. And I don't know if I'll ever get back to him, but I probably will because it's just like Beatles, basically.
Yeah, we could get to it because there's stuff I think there that I can also bring to you.
But that's what I was planning on this whole time.
Okay.
And now I'm thinking of this other group that.
Have you seen them live?
Yeah.
You know what? I might not have even listened to this album.
Why'd you see them live?
Because they were playing with another band that I wanted to see.
Oh, but you said you were there for them.
No, I was there. I was there for Now.
Oh, well then
They were just happened to be there.
I thought you were there for them.
No.
Oh, okay. Then we'll listen to Jukebox the Ghost. What did I say? Let Live and Let Ghosts.
Okay.
That's good. We'll go for that. Their debut album.
What year is that?
2008.
2008. Okay.
Debut album, Jukebox the Ghost, Let Live and Let Ghosts.
Okay. I'm already just thinking of this title, just being so confused. And I can't wait to dive into it and see what Jukebox the Ghost has in store for me. I can't even think of their other albums, to be honest.
I mean, I'm going to make you listen to some of these other albums too.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Let me just based on cover art, I'll see if I can.
Eventually, you're going to be listening to
Man, I don't know.
To at least one.
I honestly
other.
don't know.
All right, maybe not then.
I've listened to any of these.
I guess I was under the impression because this is what you told me.
I don't remember. I don't remember seeing them at the show.
Oh, that's fine. Great.
I went for Now, and they were opening for Hello Goodbye. And I think probably at that time I was like, oh, see Hello Goodbye.
Sure.
And Jukebox the Ghost was kind of in that world.
Yeah.
But I think just because I don't have much history with them, even like Hello Goodbye is the faintest memory in my head of seeing that guy.
Right. String bean
on the stage. Mm-hmm. Like it's such a faint memory, you know?
Sure.
So
well, I guess I just had it wrong in my mind, so I wanted to pick something that you haven't listened to.
I was surprised that they were on that show because I was trying to figure out when I saw Now for this show, for a past episode we did, and I was like, oh, Jukebox the Ghost is on that, and you had just gone to see them.
Yeah.
So I was like, and they're very interesting indeed.
Yeah. Indeed. All right, well that settles that then.
We'll do that for next week, and until then, we've been Earbuds, and you're in the mix.
Let's hit him with one last Cigaro.
Oh.
Bye.
Keep going. Keep going. Hold on. Bye.
Each week we listen to an album, here's a remind. Just know it's gonna take about 3 hours of your time to hear us complain or praise each other's taste.